Now then, YouTube, hope you're all well. So last night I went and see my old friend Jack. I go and see him every night. I met Jack, he's 95. I met Jack about, I think it was about 11 years old, I think. So 19 years ago. And he took me under his wing and took me shooting, and took me here, there and everywhere, and we've been best mates ever since. He smoked a pipe for a lot of his life and cigarettes. He's got a lot of stories to tell about in the army, well, in the military police in Germany, coming back, having nowhere to live, working at the pit, etc. I can sit and listen to him for hours on end, and I do, and he, as far as I'm concerned, he's a legend, really. So get yourself your pipe and get some tobacco and get a drink, get anchored down, and if it's your thing, your cup of tea, I'd love it if you could join us and have a laugh with us, and I hope you find his story interesting. So thank you very much. Now then, YouTube, this is my good friend Jack, and today we're going to talk about his life. And you were in army, weren't you, Jack?
No.
You were?
No, in Her Majesty's Quarters.
Was that it?
His Majesty's Quarters at the time.
Yeah. What? How old were you when you...
I volunteered for the Palestine Police in January 1945.
And how old was you then?
18. And Churchill withdrew. I never heard anything. And Churchill withdrew them all. That's why I didn't hear anything. And they sent me a letter. They transferred me from out at Palestine Police. They got me in at first, but of course, when he withdrew them, they said, we've found a vacancy in Royal Air Force Police. We'll put you in that. So that was it.
So, what happened then? Did you...
Had to go training.
Training? Where did you go training?
Oh, good God. It's yours is a well-known place.
I think you've told me as well.
I've told you before. I can't remember the name of it. It'll come to me in a bit. And then, after training, what did I do after training? Oh, I got such an accolade for smartness, being smart, that they picked me for escort to commanding officer, which was a good job.
Yeah, I bet.
And I went all over, wherever RAF police were in the world, I went with, he went and I went with him. And I had all his amenities. For example, if we went to a hotel somewhere, I went with him. And we had same meals.
Yep.
Had a glorious life. I went all over Germany and Italy and France. And then of course, I'd got a lot of experience. We might be interviewing German prisoners and things like that on the way, and had a lot of experience, and because of that they asked me to go teaching police law, evidence law,
Yeah.
and classroom work, which I enjoyed, of course.
And then, yeah.
And I remember, I must have been all right, because I can remember commanding officer coming in one day, and he said, "Now, Sergeant," he said, so-and-so, I don't know whether you're corporal or sergeant or what. He said, his classes they've nearly all failed the bloody exams. How can that happen? He said, I want you to take them for the next fortnight, see what you can do. Oh, I didn't have to give it to him then. And lo and behold, we got him passed. He congratulated me.
And how did you end up?
But yet, I had to do a lot of memory jobs. For example, a person steals who, without consent of the owner, fraudulently and without a claim of right, made in good faith, takes and carries away anything capable of being stolen at the time of such taking, to permanently deprive the owner thereof. Now that's the definition of stealing. Now, Stealing Act 1916 to 1920. I was governed by Moriarty's police law, which was in circulation for 50 odd years before then, and I had to go on that.
Yeah, and you can remember that at 95. So how did...
We had to do rape and kindred offences, evidence, larceny, I've just said that, rape and kindred, all the major crimes, yeah. Assault and battery, and things like that.
So how did you end up meeting Wilhelmina? How did you end up at...
Well, I was in Germany, and
obviously Wilhelmina's Jack's wife. I was just telling the guys, I said, obviously Wilhelmina's your wife.
Oh.
Cologne, that's where you met her, weren't it?
No. Cologne was bombed.
Right.
During the war. It was flattened.
Right.
In fact, I went and had a look at Cologne later on. And I've never seen nothing like it. There were no cats and dogs. People were scrambling about, looking, trying to find things. And
everybody ate the cats and dogs, like? Had everybody eaten the cats and dogs to survive?
And they what?
I said, had everybody eaten the cats and dogs to survive?
Yeah. And some cattle and what have you.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
To exist.
Yeah.
And they were... I wasn't there then, but after that bombing job, they were moved, like children were in England, to safety, to other places and lodge with other people. And that's what happened with Wilhelmina and her. In fact, they were moved to... bloody hell. Gütersloh, that place there.
Yeah.
And they were moved to number 22 Firebornstrasse. I remember that name. 22 Firebornstrasse. a big bungalow it was,
Yeah.
bigger than this one. But there were 2 or 3 families in that bungalow.
Yeah.
And what happened, my commanding officer, we went to a unit, a police unit nearby, and my commanding officer was disgusted with them and them that were in charge. And he said, I want you to shake them up. So I took them marching to make them polish the brushes and boots and all this. I said, you've got to show these Germans you're not rubbish. And I used to set off and march with them, and I used to lead them. And I was leading through Gütersloh. Well, that's how Wilhelmina saw me. And there was another one. It was the other one that saw me first. That one there.
All right, yeah. let me borrow that to just to show everybody. So that's Jack and Wilhelmina. Jack there.
No, that one right hand side.
Yeah, that's your sister, but that's Jack and Wilhelmina at your wedding, isn't it?
That's it.
When was that? Obviously just after war.
1949. January 49.
Right, yeah.
That's the one that wanted to see me. She kept going on to Wilhelmina. I want to see him. And they got an idea of coming to England because there was nothing left in Germany for them.
Yeah.
And she got it, but unfortunately, I put my eyes on somebody else.
Yeah. I never regret it, Wilhelmina. I say I never regret it. I never regretted it.
Never even.
I said, and then never regretted it.
Oh,
choosing Wilhelmina.
No,
exactly.
No. 62 years married.
Yeah.
62 years. Yeah.
It's a long time, that is.
I remember I'd only met her 3 weeks. And I've not seen her since then. We had a bit of a duel. They were a bit of a party. They give us a little drink at this. Me.
Yeah.
At this bungalow job. Nice chap, that bloke there. He's on there somewhere. There, that's him there.
Yeah.
And his wife. His wife's on there as well. Anna, that's his daughter. Made me very welcome, and I was posted away then. Well, I went with this bloke, this officer, up to Hamburg, I think it was. And that was 3 weeks after I'd seen her, and I sent word. I went to Army Chaplain. There's some barracks in Hamburg, barracks, army barracks, and I went to see Chaplain. And I said, can you do me a favour? I said, I'd like to marry Fraulein told me. I told him where she was and all this, and I said, he said, I'll get word to her, tell her you want to get married. I said, tell her we're going to get married. And he did do. Unfortunately, it went through. And he arranged, it was that church there, that's it, Gütersloh Church. He arranged to be 11 o'clock one morning, on Sunday morning at that church, and he married us. but he had to have a army chaplain with him as well
Right.
to record it for military.
Yeah. To legitimise it, like. To fully legitimise it.
Yeah, I will remember. 2 chaplains we were. And we got married, and I got married and buggered off that night. And it was a long time till I saw her. Oh, I was going back on leave and I saw this officer over there. And of course, with being in, well, we could do anything, especially. It was our law in Germany, no German law, no bloody English law. Yeah, that's not true, not perfectly true. I'll be telling a lie if it were perfectly true, but you know what I mean.
You got away with a lot.
We could do as we liked, as you might say.
Yeah.
They were not ready to stop us, anyhow.
No.
And he arranged for me to go down and pick her up. And I got on board. He told me what boat it was, and I went and booked her in on this boat. I forget now what name it was. And of course, I went on board the night before. I forget what port we sailed from. Anyway, I was in a book. There were bunks on some things on ropes, and you lie on that, you know.
Like hammocks?
Little hammocks. And next to me were a Scotch sergeant, McLean, I think his name was. And he said, I've got a bottle of whiskey here, you're not going back to Blighty. He says, they'll only take it off us. Get your bloody mug out. That was that night, like so. We got his mugs out and we're drinking whiskey, aren't you? And apparently during the night, so not far off next morning, Wilhelmina must have got lonely and said to him she'd like to speak to me, to see me. Women and children were on top deck. Civilians and army down below. And she was on top deck and she would like to see me. And this, what do they call them? What do they call it? Sergeant in the Navy.
I'm not sure.
No,
I'm not familiar.
Bloody hell. Snotty. He had a nickname, Snotty.
I don't know.
Whoever it is. Anyway, apparently he come down and he's asking everybody, Sergeant Whitehurst, are you Sergeant Whitehurst? And he's been to me and I've said, no, never heard of him. Honestly, it must have happened because I got up to top deck eventually. Didn't he fucking give me some bollocking? Fucking hell. You bloody fucking liar, you get me. He said, I fucking spoke to you, stood there talking to you. It's a bit whiskey. And over it, he upset Wilhelmina because she met a friend there while she was on top there. And he said to her, if he treats you like that, like this now, what's he going to do when he gets him back to Blighty? And of course he took extra of it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't true.
So, so tell these ladies and gentlemen how it come about that you started pipe smoking in Germany in a war zone and collecting pipes.
I started smoke piping long before then, when I was 14.
14?
Ah, when I was a lad. I tell you, everybody smoked in those days.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about men.
Yeah.
A lot of women did as well, bloody pipes.
Excuse me.
What I'm saying is, everybody smoked, and if you didn't smoke, you went in the crowd. So, we've got to be clever, me and you. Old man, he never wasted anything. He wouldn't waste a drop of water, never mind anything else. And when he finished his cigarette, his nut end, he kept them. And he used to split the paper off and mix that paper, back it up with pipe tobacco and smoke it. But we used to go in and steal a cigarette end at his cupboard, big cupboard inside, and put a pin in it and light it, and you could get 2 or 3 chuffs out of it. Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
We did that regularly.
Yeah.
And then eventually, when we got a bit of, if we delivered somebody's paper, someone got a bit of money, we went and bought some cigarettes at that age.
Yeah.
And pipe. And it is tobacco and things.
But what I think I meant is, obviously, you were collecting pipes and taking pipes round Germany with you, weren't you? Everywhere you went.
When I was going, yeah.
So you must have liked them, because obviously it were a war zone, and you were.
I did like them, yeah.
Yeah. So
and I was especially pleased when I got to somewhere, I don't know where it was, but I can't remember where it was. But I got a load of pipes in bags, and we keep bagging that, and I was frightened of them breaking one. And the bloke said, "Here," and he come and brought me a big wooden box, a wooden case. I think it must have been, it was like plywood, it was very strong and very nice and light, and a bloody good handle on it, and for your pipes, he said. Oh, I did like that, and I carried it for ages and ages, but it was a bloody nuisance. If you got your kit bag, and I had a pistol and ammo and side packs and big packs.
Lot to carry, like.
Bloody nuisance. And eventually I was that fed up. An officer was looking at him, and it was very nice. You've got a nice collection there. I said, "Do you like them?" He said, "Oh, they're lovely, they are." Kept looking, yeah, I'll give them one. I wish, well, he'll not be alive now, be older than me. But I bet they're there somewhere in somebody's house.
And how many pipes do you think you'd recruit as a guess?
I don't know.
10?
It was a big case, and it was full.
Maybe 20 then. Maybe 20 then.
Oh, more than 20.
Yeah.
Not more than 20. In fact, I went on leave one day. Oh, after I took wife back to England, we went to had to find lodgings, and this was in a place called Pearshaw. Pearshaw, Worcestershire. And I had to find I was teaching then, as I told you.
Yeah.
Law, evidence, and whatever. And I found a thatched cottage. Looked ever so nice. And I knocked at the door, and an old lady come out. Nice old lady, grey head. She was a nurse at a hospital. I can't remember her name there. She was nice, ever so nice. And I told her I was looking for a room for my wife. I was at the camp down the road. And she said, you can have my front room upstairs and the room downstairs if you wish. Them two. 30 shillings a week. I went. And apparently the matron that worked at this hospital lived next to it. It was semi-detached. And we got on very well, and it'd be, when was it? Can't remember what year it was, but this nurse come to me one day when I got there to see what I went in and out of her. Come and go, you know. She called me one day. She said, sit down a minute or two. I want to talk to you. So I sat down. She said, your wife's pregnant. I said, you what? And how she knew, I don't know, but she did. I said, I don't think so. She said, I'm telling you, she's pregnant. And I said, I did say to you when you first came, didn't I? If you remember, I said to you, only one stipulation. If your wife gets pregnant, you have children out. Didn't I say that? I said, yes, you did. So she said, I'm sorry, you'll have to go now. So then I started and went round that village. Where did I say it was?
I don't know, it began with P.
I've just bloody told you, I forgot.
I know I have.
Well, what a bloody hell. But anyway, I went round and it was a job asking, and I knocked at one door, I remember, very smart, semi-detached place. And this woman come, and I told her, I said, I'm looking for lodgings for my wife while I'm stationed down here. I've got a room, yeah, I've got one room you can have. 17 shillings and sixpence a week. So, come in and have a look at it. So I went in and just that one room, and there was a camp bed in it.
Right.
She must have had somebody before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she said, my name's Mrs. Meredith. Her son lived there with her, only her son. And I all remember he was in the AA, he was on a motorbike in AA. Car job.
Yeah.
But she was nasty. Nasty so she was. And with me being teaching and that, and examinations, I had to mark test papers, give them exams every now and again. The only place I could do it was downstairs in the lounge on dining table, and you used to put about, I had a briefcase then, put papers on there, and one day she come on Sunday morning, I'll never forget. I forget what she said. She said something nasty and swiped all the papers onto the floor. Don't want that bloody rubbish. Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have killed her. I remember I could have killed her, but I've got to be careful. Well, what do you mean there was there? And I've got to find somewhere else now. And I didn't want it on the street while I...
Yeah.
Frightened me to fucking death, I did. But fortunately... I went back to old lady, tobacconist shop where I said what was before.
Yeah.
They just said you've got to go. No, wait, no, I didn't. I went back to old nurse and she had me until I found a tobacconist shop. Oh, it was a tall building. This is what I'm coming to. Can't remember her name. This was a grand little old lady. And she let us come and live there.
Above shop?
Yeah. And what I'm coming to is, we were talking about pipes, and she come and brought a little case, and there was a little pipe in it, a beautiful little pipe. It was like a green felt case.
Yeah.
With gold silk inside, and a beautiful little pipe. Amber
stem.
Stem.
And what type of pipe? Meerschaum or?
Can't remember.
No.
Can't remember the name. But it was for show. The tobacconist company's show.
Show pipe. Yeah.
Well, one of them.
Yeah.
And she said you can have it.
Oh, that one nice.
And she found 2 or 3 more little pipes. Give me.
What were your favourite pipe tobacco?
Ogden's. Bruno.
Yeah.
Ogden's Bruno. It tasted best and smelled best.
Yeah. Would that be flake? It wouldn't be ready rubbed at that time, would it?
They were long pieces.
Yeah, and did you rub them out?
About like that. And you had to break them up.
Yeah, yeah. And did you say you had some church warden, some long pipes?
I had some in Italy. I picked 2 or 3 pipes up in Italy, a bit long and beautiful bowls on them. Big and painted and lovely.
And how would you find them in such as Italy? Would they be?
What?
How did you come across them in Italy? Can you remember?
Oh, I don't know. Just run into them, I suppose.
Yeah.
Shops or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're into them, you'll see them, won't you?
That's right. So when you got rid of all your pipes, when you gave them to that sergeant or whatever, officer, when you gave them all away, did you keep one to smoke or a couple?
No.
What did you do? Go on to cigarettes? Go on to cigarettes?
Yeah.
Or did you pack up smoking?
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually packed them up. Well, I mean the smoke then.
Yeah. So when did the story entitled "I Wished It Was Something Hard" come into it? The story about the bloke in his bed, and he said it wouldn't be so bad if it was something hard.
Oh.
When did that come in?
Oh. That was in Germany.
Yeah.
We were in a barracks somewhere, army barracks. Arthur Argent, that was his name.
And you're not going to know why, but Arthur still spoke to Jack up until, didn't he die last year, was it?
He rang me.
Yeah.
He rang me.
You're not going to know.
Oh, he died, yeah. Poor old Arthur.
After you've heard this story, you're not going to want to know why.
That.
You're not going to know why.
I didn't remember that. I didn't remember that. He was a very clean, smart. I used to call them holy people. How can I put it? They wouldn't think of swearing or anything like that. Proper devout Christians.
Yeah.
And his parents were, and that they went to chapel, and I think his father was a preacher or something like that. But anyway, of course, I've got a book in it. It was summertime, huh? Well, remember. Warm like this. And he'd gone out. I sneaked up into his, it was only across, what is it? I sneaked in his, and made him a French bed. You know, you can't
turn it over.
Close halfway up. And I sneaked off to cookhouse, and I bribed the bloke to pinch half a pound of margarine. And I took that back and put that in the bottom of this bed. And then I shut off to bed at 8 o'clock that night and lay there. Oh, we all had doors open because it was that hot. And I lay there, I remember coming myself. And he couldn't sleep. And I didn't say, and he was in a bloody mess when I looked. All strung up his legs. He'd only just changed. Oh, he was in the habit of changing his underclothes regular. Clean person as well as being religious. And he just changed all his underclothes, pants and vests and whatever. He's up to eyes, bloody grease. He said, I wouldn't have cared if it'd been something hard. I'll give him something hard. And I got somebody to help me, and we got a rope and we dragged this bloody guy. That's what we made for 2 weeks. Hard labour. It drops out bloody springs, didn't it? Of course it would do, wouldn't it?
What was it? What did you drag?
It was from, oh yeah, what do they call exercise place?
Gymnasium.
Gymnasium, Bloody 8 ton of what they was, so they could be fit.
Yeah, a big weight.
Got to be for 200 or 300.
So you dragged
Water
it,
picked it up, didn't we? Put it on there
and it went straight through.
They bound to report it then, wasn't he?
So,
In some cases, you had to pay for bedding.
well, it'd smash it, wouldn't it?
Ah. Yeah.
So, after that, you made friends with Arthur. You must have done, because he used to write to you and stuff, didn't
Well,
he?
he was an instructor, same as me, in classrooms.
Yeah. So, after all that, and poor old Arthur, what happened when you got home from Germany with Wilhelmina?
I tell you, you had to go and find lodgings for her.
Didn't you go to your dad's first?
Oh, well, I went home. I thought, there was a box room upstairs, 3 bedrooms plus a box room, a big house. I thought, we'll better stop there, but no, out.
Your dad wouldn't allow it?
Yeah.
Your dad wouldn't allow it? Is that because at 14
I
war?
think so.
Mm.
Oh, he was, he always said in it when he had a point of view, he was always there. There's no good Germans, we call them Germans, not Germans. No good bloody Germans, only dead bloody Germans. He'd go all the while.
And what did you tell him when he said that, having a German wife?
I didn't say nothing, it was no good retaliating with him. A big strong bloke.
So what did you think
What did I think?
when he used to say that?
Oh, sorry. I did say to him once, I will remember, I've been fair I got mad, really mad with him that day, I will remember. And I said, I've been further than you've ever been. Miles and miles further than you've ever been. I've seen a lot more life than you've ever seen. I said, and I'll tell you something else. There's good and bad every bloody way. And there's some bloody bad Germans in England. And he didn't say nothing, and I reckon it must have sunk in a bit. But anyway.
Because in finish, he really liked Wilhelmina, didn't he?
Hey.
I said in the finish, he really liked Wilhelmina, didn't he?
Oh, he said, one of the nicest ladies I've ever met.
He'd just be a bit sore after everything he'd seen.
Because of army job, yeah.
So you ended up in a Scouts hut, didn't you? Oh no, before that, you went down the road with nowhere to go and somebody took you in, didn't you?
If you can picture in your mind going down this hill.
Yeah.
The Rangers garage at top.
Right.
Mansfield Terrace there, just at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
Bike shop.
Where
garage.
Where that roundabout is now.
There's a roundabout now. They weren't there.
No, there won't be, no.
Anyway. And just past there, there's a pair of semi-detached houses.
Yeah.
Nice houses.
I know what you mean.
And they're standing by the south. Freddie Lee, what building, he built them. And a chap named Pop Hill, they call him Pop Hill. He was blacksmith at Alfred Colliery. Lived there with his 2 sons. And a chap named Radford. Can't remember his first name, next door, and him and his wife. Anyway, it's 6:30, 7 at night. And, well, I just want to say, well, me, they were in a pram. I were in a pram then, little baby. And we got a couple of cases and one thing and another. And we were walking up and just going past their house, and he come out up top, and he wore a flat cap, and it was on one side. Always used to make people laugh, because he never wore it straight. He always wore it. And he come out, shirt sleeves and cap one side, and a big jug in it, a big enamel jug, white enamel jug, I remember. He's going up to beef stalls. Meshach Alcock, his name was, a beer off, little beer off, up road. He's going to fetch it full of beer. He always did. And hey, Elvis, where are you going? Well, he knew me. I used to play about with his sons.
Yeah.
And I told him what had happened, and they said, oh dear, oh dear. And their front door's open onto my road, and he stood there and he shouted, what was her name? Sis! Called her Sis. Sis! Sis! At the top of his voice. She come out. He says, take these in. Put them in the front room. I'll talk to you when I come back. And when he come back, he said, yeah, one son had got married and gone, and the other one lived there with his wife and 2 children, I think he said. And he was, but fortunately, he said, he's away on holiday at Skegness, or some bloody way, Maple or somewhere. And he won't be back till a week on Saturday or whatever it was. And you can have that room downstairs and bedroom upstairs, if that's all right. So he took us in. And then it come near to that, well, Friday he said, I'm so sorry, you've got to go. So Dick, his name, they called him Dickie Richard Hill. He's coming back off holiday tomorrow. I said, oh dear. He said, anyway, do you want to come up then? Come on then. Up. Come on.
That's just Titchy, Jack's sidekick.
Oh, his wife was listening. She buggered off out and come back in about 2 or 3 minutes. And she said, you can go and live next door.
That randy then.
She said, I've had a word with I've just told you the name, what it Road or what. Anyway, I've just talked to him and he said you can live there for the time being till we find somewhere for you. So we moved next door. That was all right. And then somebody, a friend of mine, I went to Colford College, so it'll be somebody knew me from there. They said, what you want to do is, do you know where German prisoners used to be? I said, I bloody do. Of course, we had German prisoners at Swanwick. There's some wooden huts they built from Speckley for prisoners.
Right.
Back at church up at Swanwick. They said, if you can get in one of them huts, council will find you somewhere. I said, good idea. So I went up, walked up. In them days you got to walk up, no biting and out. And I found this hut. About as big as this kitchen, twice as big.
Yeah.
And I managed to partition it with some plywood, and I went to Mansfield, Sutton, and a furniture shop there, and I bought a bed and wardrobe and table and chairs, all on Never Never, and they were delivered, and we made it into a nice little place. I can't remember how long we were there, but it was comfortable, we were all right.
Yeah.
And then there come a letter from council. Dear Mr. Whitehead, we've had some housing built at the bottom of Sleepmore Lane at Summercoats, and one of those is yours if you wish, for rental. Oh, bloody hell. So, brand new, semi-detached mind you, but brand new, garden and what have you. Moved into there.
So that were nice.
Alfreton.
Yeah.
You know Summercoats.
Yeah.
If you come out of Alfreton to go into Summercoats, it's like a bit of a hill. Well, bottom of that hill, that's where they were.
Right. Yeah. And then you had your brother build this place, didn't you?
Well, I saw my brother some time after, and we got cracking, talking, and what have you. I'll bloody build you one, they said. We'll better try and find a piece of land first. Well, he was living with Gladys. Lodging with her. And this is just down here, first turn right, there's a lane.
Yeah.
They put a notice up now, private.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
in red?
I know what you mean, yeah.
Just there, up there, big house. There's only two up there, on the left hand side.
Right.
There's a cottage on end there, and two more cottages.
Yeah.
All joined together there. And she lived, she owned that big house up there. Parson, the Rachel lived in first, one big one. And that was Gladys there.
So that's Gladys. That's you, isn't it?
Ah, that's what I said, Gladys.
Yeah. And Wilhelmina.
Ah. And
so that's Wilhelmina, Jack's wife, Jack and Gladys. So your brother were living with Gladys. I said, so your brother were living with Gladys. And then what?
She owned this land.
Right.
And he knew that. And he got round her and told her that I've got to, he wanted to build something. And she said, I'll sell you that for him. 200 pounds. Yes. Of course, they were all bricks and all sorts. It was a bloody mess. People have been dumping things on here. But
yeah. And I'm guessing you worked at the pit then, did you? Did you work at the pit at that time?
Yeah.
So you were earning good money?
Yeah.
And you liked pit, didn't you?
And I had to pay £250 to come up this lane.
Yeah.
250 in them days was 250.
Lots of
Anyway,
money.
that was that. And it wasn't long before he got this. He said one day, oh, in that council house, one day he come to me and he says that that place is ready up Normanton for you. And you get your stuff ready and I'll come round tonight with a lorry and moved us up. That was 57 years ago.
And you've been here ever since? It's a nice place to live, isn't it? The Riviera of the North. The Riviera of the North. So how did you go on at Pitt?
Well, I really wanted to join police. And I went to the police station and I was talking to them when I come out at Porters. And I said, how much is it? They said, £4, 15 shillings a week. I said, £4.50. Bloody hell. I said, I'm getting £11, 17 shillings now. I said, I want more than that. I said, I've got a wife now and child and I've got to furnish a place and buy a house. Well, that's no bloody good to me. £4.50 shillings a week. Mind you, I ought to have kept it. I ought to have had it because they helped you out. Police Association did. And they found you a house as well. Then you bought your own after.
Right.
But I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I decided to book up bloody police. I said, where's all the money? They said, if you can do it, if you're good enough, in Pitts. I thought, oh bloody hell. But that was it. I thought, well, that's where the money is, that's where I'm going. So off I went. I was in with my brother then and parents, father. He went in, but we were talking. He had a word with somebody at Pitt and got me a job there. And I started down the mine, knocking coal out and shoveling. And then I decided to go for me ticket, what they call your ticket. I went to Mansfield Technical College and got my certificate.
For managing?
Yeah. And I got chargement then, straight away, on a cold face with all and then, you know, not long after, only 3 years after, I'm colliery overman, senior colliery overman. Running job. Well, I did enjoy that.
And did you get into any trouble? I'm saying, did you get into any trouble?
Oh no, not much, no. Mind you, I don't know whether it was trouble or not, really. You judge. I'm there by myself, in charge at colliery, from 6 o'clock at night. I got there at 4 o'clock, I did, because I got to find out where coal were coming from and if there's been anything wrong, I got and read reports from other deputies and that.
Yeah.
So that's why I got there for 4 o'clock. But my shift started at 6. And I was there from 6 o'clock at night till I went home sometime at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
If I were lucky. But if there was trouble, I could be going home at 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. When day shift had come. And I'm down Pit one night, and somebody says, "You wanted on phone, Jack." So I go and get some phone, and it was what they call the bank foreman, who was in charge of the safety. I picked up supplies and winding engine and all this business. And he said, "Is that Jack?" I said, "Ah." He said, "We're in trouble here, we ain't shit up here." "What do you mean?" He says, "Teversal Loco, the engine that brought empties for the coal up to the colliery, had come off the rails, the engine itself and several wagons."
Yeah.
I said, "I'll come up and have a look at you." So I nipped up Pete. I said, "Oh bloody hell, what a mess." So I said to Mike Foreman, "Who ain't to deal with this bloody job?" And he said, "Wards of Sheffield." I said, "Oh right, oh," and off I went straight across to Exchange. I won't say if it's there. There's a bloke in there on Telephone Exchange. I said, "Ring Wards of Sheffield." He said, "All right." He said, "But you'll speak to him." I said, "I'll talk. You ring them and I'll bloody talk to him."
He didn't want...
He did do
It
it.
was in middle at night, was it?
2 o'clock in the morning.
2 o'clock in the
Well,
morning.
2:15 it was when he rang me. And anyway, I got on the phone and, "Hello," a voice said, "Hello." And I said, "My name's Whitehair, Jack Whitehair. I'm in charge of Silver Hill Colliery." I said, "We're in serious trouble here." I said, "And I've got to try and put it all right, ready for the day shift, which is not far away." And he said, "Oh dear, you're in trouble." "What?" He said, "What's your trouble?" And I told him. I said, "Oh," he said, "you are in trouble." And I said, "I've got to get it sorted." He says, "All right, put your phone down." He says, "I'll give you a ring back in a little while, and I'll let you know whether we can or not." And lo and behold, he did ring in. I bet it won't above 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. He said, he said, "I couldn't do anything until I'd had a word with your
Estates?
estates manager. I couldn't do anything until I've had a word with your estates manager, and he's given me the go-ahead. So I'm all right." And he said, "I've got a gang of men at Clipston Colliery.
Yeah.
I'm going to withdraw them straight away over to you. How's that?" He says, "I'm sure they'll do a good job for you." "Thank you very, very much, sir. You're a gentleman. You're a very good gentleman." Anyway, I was happy at that, of course.
Well, it could keep you producing coal then, couldn't it?
Pardon?
As soon as that were going, you could produce coal again, couldn't you?
He what?
As soon as they'd sorted that out, you could then start producing coal again.
Back to the pit.
Yeah.
But I went home at normal. I had a word with the night overman that came on, told him what had happened, and I buggered off home. And when I got to pit next day, I was set on, by the way, with a manager named Colin Wells, who was a nice chap he was. I think he thought the world of me, but he had a heart attack and died. Suddenly collapsed and died. Only about 45.
Oh dear.
And nice chap. This other one, Brian Allen, his name was, he was nasty little song, so. Ooh, I hated his guts. I could have belted him, but he come marching into office when I got that next day. Kick door open, that type. Well, you can tell what they're like doing that. And he marches in, He said, oh, the bloody, who gave you fucking permission to send for water to Sheffield? I said, you were in bloody bed, snoring. I said, I'm here in charge, I'm responsible. I said, it's up to me to get the bloody job done. Huh. Do you know you've got to go through the estate agent? He's got to authorise it. I said, I went through the estate agent. Oh, did you? What's his name? Mr. Thomas. I don't know what his name was, but Mr. Well, fuck me. And he marched out. That bugged him, that did. But do you think I did right?
You did right. There? You did right, yeah. He were only being like that because he was jealous. Because people would be saying they'd done a good job getting it going again.
Fancy him doing that.
Did you get into any more trouble? Surely you couldn't help it.
One thing I did hear is under manager, Dennis Glasby, his name is. I think he's dead now, must be dead now. Lived at Newton, Northview. Him and Top, this is when I was an overman, called the overman. Him and his fellow officers had got together and they said, "Oh Jack, that's me. He's done a good job there and he's done a good job that and this and that to other and he ought to be under manager, you know. He's as good as this Glasby said he's as good as an under manager." And they said yes, I think manager agreed. Yes, he is. So they decided to give me managerial status without a certificate. And they got on to area. I was always proud of that, got on to area, but area said, no, we're not setting a precedent. We are not setting a precedent. He's got to go through college to get that certificate. But they would have, if they could have done, they would have done. It was nice that way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and of course you got it in the end, didn't you?
That's how well I was getting on in pit.
Yeah.
I'm not bragging, but I'm just telling you that.
Yeah. Weren't there an incident with some gas? Weren't there an incident once with some gas?
Oh. I walked up well, I mean, come and got me out of bed one morning. She said, you've got to be at pit for 11 o'clock, a meeting. It's important, she said. Fuck it. But anyway, I got ready and fucked off at pit. And the old manager, area manager, and he started. This manager got up and he said, this concerns you, generally speaking, Jack. We're getting short of coal. We've only got 208 face. And that's nearly run out. We've got to get some more coal tomorrow. Yesterday, he said. And we started, I forget what they called it, a place, somewhere down the road. And what I'm trying to get at is you are well known for stealing men off jobs. He says, you do not, under any circumstances, take men off that job. Is that clear? And at the risk of offending you, I'm going to repeat it again. Do not take any men off that job. In fact, if you're short of men, you've got to make it up. It's got to be a full team and it's got to go as fast as it can. Is that clear? All right, officer. When they told me that night, I went, I'll go and have a look at this fucking job, because I'd never been down there. And I walked all the way down to this place and...
How far would it have been? It'd be a long way, wouldn't it?
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, quite a long way down. A long drift it was. Anyway, I can't describe how far it'd be. Not in yards.
What about in time? How long, roughly?
Oh, only be about 10 or 15 minutes. Going down there, you go fast enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you do when you get there as an official?
Turn your light off. Turn your light off.
No. Test for gas.
Right, yeah.
Test for gas. How do you test for gas? Well, you carry a lamp, don't you?
Yeah.
And you turn the wick up and put it down there on the floor. And if the flame stops steady, don't move. Well, it does move a little bit, but it don't. That's all right. But if it jumps up to coming up bonnet, it's black damp. What they call black damp, gas on the floor. It could be 2 foot high.
Would that be like a methane type of gas?
No, that's another gas, black damp. Methane was a different one.
Right.
So the next thing you do is up here. This is where your methane might be, up here.
Yeah.
Turn your wick up. And if that, it doesn't jump, but it grows, the flame grows. How can I describe it? It might be a little triangle. I can't describe what size it would be. Normal triangle in the lamp. And if it's methane, it gets a bigger.
Because it's flammable, like.
And it'll go pop, pop. That's explosive rate, that bugger is. 9, 10, 15% gas. Anyway, I put my lamp up, 4.5%. Oh, I've overrun my tail. You do not. You're all right. You can have 1.25% in the general body, but no more. Put my lamp up, 4.5%. There they are, banging away.
And how would you judge the percentage by the flame?
What?
How would you judge the percentage of
That's
the
what I
gas
said
by the
with the
flame?
size of them, that triangle.
Yeah.
Such a carry a little one for 1.5,
Yeah.
and then when it's 4.5, it's
Yeah.
anyway. And it's experience actually.
Yeah.
Experience. What would I say? So there's men, sparks coming off of fucking pits. Because it's rock they're going through. And the fucking machine there that cooks and makes spark. Fucking hell, frightened me to death. Stop! Stop work! Stop work! They fucking looked at me and said, "Oh, chargeman. Well, oh, where's the deputy?" Not seen him lately. I thought, well, fuck me. He's gone fucking wandering about, bloody cunt. Anyway, who's chargeman? Who's in charge? chargeman. Oh. Do not do any more work. Bring the men out now. Go up to the Middle Dips engine house. Do you know where that is? Yes, I do. There's some aerial fencing in there. Bring it down and put it across here. And I want you to stand guard on it, and no one goes in there. Nobody at all. Not even manager. Is that clear? Right, so. Fucked off. And of course, you know what they have to do, don't you? There's a fan in, electrical fan, and blow, clear it out.
Yeah.
And leave fanning while they're working. To work all the time.
Yeah.
Because all the time they're working and breaking the starter, they're releasing gas into the atmosphere. That was a gas job.
Yeah. So
it could have blown the bloody pistol.
yeah. So
Made me shit myself, that did.
So that bloke said, "Don't pinch any men off of the job." So you shut it.
I shut the fucker. That manager.
And let me ask you this.
That worse than taking men off. I shut the fucking job.
But
I heard the secretary, manager's secretary, he come to work and I think she told him, or somebody in the office told him, Jack Whitehouse has stopped 208 or whatever fucking name was. He started jumping up in the fucking air and he's fucking blinding and going at it. But he didn't realise what.
did you make use of the men when you'd shut job? Did you put them on another job?
I didn't. The cook man, it won't know what to do with me. No, I left deputy to sort that out. The sergeant took the sergeant off him.
Yeah. So we've been talking about what your life for an hour and 20 minutes. Look on screen there. Can you see?
An hour and 20 minutes. Bloody hell.
Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
Fucking hell, an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, we're not showing that to anybody.
Why?
I've been sweating.
Well, we can get rid of that. Had you forgot?
Oh,
We'll get rid of it. We'll get rid of
it.
it. You've been a long way tonight then. From here to Germany, to Italy, and back to Pitt. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Jack's life story. And as always, keep it lit.